Oops. There's Ed.
I was hoping to have an ex parte conversation with you, but apparently that's not happening.
No, because I had to bring out. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're going to bring Ed over and Kevin over. Hi, Kevin.
Okay, let's get this going.
Welcome, everyone. This is our last meeting of the year. And then, so I'm Commissioner Nigro. What will happen and there's Mike Eichler. What will happen in January, Michael will sadly no longer be among us, but we'll be kind of split. So the northern part of New York Avenue will be 2G, and then the southern part will be 6E. So 6E as we know it will no longer exist after January 1st. There's Ed. So if you know where you live, you're either going to be up here with me in 2G or down with Kevin in 6E. So small group. Hi, Ed. So we're recording the meeting, everyone, as we normally do.
Yes, and technically we haven't started yet.
No, but we did. I was recording though.
But it is recording.
Mhm.
So Rochelle, we got an email request just a couple minutes ago that involves tonight's agenda.
Mm.
Have you had a chance to take a look at your email?
I will. Take a look.
Yes.
About the more public speaking.
Yeah, go to the very bottom. The last paragraph.
I mean, we sure can talk about it. I think we do provide plenty of opportunity. Certainly I did when I was chair. So is
Yeah,
Mark on yet? No, Mark's not
no,
on.
he's not.
We provide plenty. I mean, certainly after each agenda item.
Yeah, I think that's the answer, is that we do
Yep.
provide opportunity.
Correct.
It's just after every single item, we ask for input from the community. There is
That's
not
right.
necessarily a section that says public input at the very beginning, but there is also an announcements, and we ask the community if they want to make announcements. So I think we meet the letter and spirit of the law.
We do, and I did more when I was chair.
Okay. Great. Okay, so I just wanted to see if you had any concerns about that.
No, I don't have a
And
problem.
also, we actually made,
we can talk to him.
yeah, well, we also might just actually turn this into a community forum in the short term, because we don't have a quorum.
No, we're waiting for, we have a Commissioner Parlay and Commissioner Blackton and Commissioner Lopez are going to be a little late.
So does anyone know any jokes?
So we should sing.
Any politically correct jokes?
We should sing carols. It's holiday time, everyone.
Does anyone have anything that they want to say with, an open mic as we're waiting for commissioners to arrive?
So I go live on my Instagram a lot. I love going live. So if anyone's on the other side of the audience has a question for us, here's your chance.
Yeah, open
Raise your
forum
hand,
before
ma'am.
we get started.
We can have a little chit chat.
Any questions about running for commissioner 2 years from now?
What's going to happen when we transition in January?
And I apologize for anyone who is on time and is waiting for the meeting to start. Also, the other question is, could we start with information items and just hold off?
We can start with the police.
We can start with information items before everything else.
We don't have to vote for, we don't have to vote on the agenda. We don't have to take attendance. We can, if the police are here, we can start with them.
We can launch right into, so anyway, good evening, everyone. It is now 6:30 and the appointed time of the beginning of the ANC 6E Commission meeting, December 6th. I'm Chair Michael Eichler, 6E01. I am joined here by Commissioners Nigro and Rogers. We are currently waiting for a quorum. Some 3 of our other commissioners are running late. So because of that, we are going to see whether our MPD partners are willing to go earlier.
Captain Moore's here.
So we do we, so Captain Moore, is he 1D?
3D.
He's 3D, yeah. Do we have Justin Roth on the line from 1D who might want to go first?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm asking. I don't see. Captain Moore, are you planning on giving the 3D update this evening?
Well, there he
All
is.
right, all right, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, greetings.
Yeah, yes, I'm gonna give it.
Okay, so we will just jump right into the 3D, and then we will once we have a quorum, we will then call the meeting to order.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Right. All right, real quick, I don't know if my camera's, my camera should be on. I don't know if you can see me.
Give me a
Not
second,
on.
I'm trying, I thought you were just gonna answer, give him a chance to speak, and I only gave him allowed to talk, so let me undo that and then bring him over as a panelist.
Oh, please.
Okay. No problem.
Okay, he's good to go.
Welcome.
Okay, here I am. How are you doing? Okay. All right, real quick, for the 3D portion, which is essentially PSA 308, a little bit into 307. Let me go over some of the crimes the last 30 days. We had a slight increase in crimes. We had about 41 as opposed to 35 the previous 30-day period. What we're seeing an increase of, which we see a lot at this time of year, are robberies. So we're trying to put our officers in the right position throughout the area in order to prevent these robberies from happening in the first place. And so let me go over some of these crimes here. I'm going to start off with November 10th. We had an assault with a dangerous weapon. This was 1201 5th Street Northwest. This was a shooting where an individual was shot. Thankfully, he wasn't killed, but we eventually found the suspect. He was a 17-year-old male, and we made an arrest there. So thankfully, that case is closed. Moving on to the robberies now. November 8th, we had a robbery at 413 R Street Northwest. This was a call for an armed carjacking. Two suspects approached the victim, pointed a handgun, demanded the keys to the vehicle, and then drove off in the vehicle. The vehicle was later stopped on November 12th at 4900 block of East Capitol Street with two individuals inside, and we did make those arrests there. Although there was too much time that lapsed, we can't really pin the robbery on them as of now. But they were charged with the unauthorized use of the vehicle. But the robbery portion I just looked is still open. Hopefully those were the same robbery guys there. Moving on to November 15th, we had a robbery, 460 N as in Nora Street. This is where two suspects approached the victim, who was a student at Dunbar. She left school a little bit early, wearing a goose down jacket. These goose down jackets are fairly popular and expensive, and stole her jacket, pointed a gun, during the robbery as well, stole her jacket and purse. We were able to track the cell phone over in the 6th and 7th districts, but then we lost it. And they were utilizing a white or beige colored vehicle. and this is a hot spot apparently for robberies, because on the 17th of November, 420 N Street in the same block, even though we had an officer on the corner of 5th and N at the time, they're so brazen, they did another robbery with a handgun, 2 suspects. This time they were in a stolen BMW, and they stole the jacket, cell phone, and sneakers of the student. And we were able to find that stolen BMW just an hour or a few hours later, right around Tyler House down there, just on the other side of New York Avenue. But that case is still open there. We had a robbery on the 17th as well, 1646 3rd Street Northwest. This is where an individual was walking away from her car. 2 individuals approached. One indicated they had a gun, although none was seen. They stole the keys and a 2018 Mazda CX-5 SUV, and that case is still open. And then lastly, on November 20th, we had a robbery, 1739 7th Street. Two black males approached the victim, who was carrying a Louis Vuitton, I guess, shopping bag, and stole the shopping bag. It had an expensive purse inside the shopping bag. Thankfully, no one was hurt in that robbery there. But yeah, we're trying to keep these robberies down. It's a uphill battle. We had one on the upper end at, outside of the ANC this morning. But, we're trying to, keep the officers in these hot spots, because this is where they keep on happening. So knock on wood, we're going to bring these numbers down at least through the end of the year, and further. We had about 30 arrests in the 3D portion of the ANC the past month. We've seized over 275 guns. Last year at this time, about 132 guns. So this shows you how many more guns we are seizing. In this area of Truxton Circle, Hanover, and Lower Shaw here, we have 3 foot beats. They're given cars, but we tell them, to get out and walk certain areas, but they have certain areas they have to cover, of course. So the one is from North Capitol to 3rd, and New York to Florida. And then we have another beat. It's essentially New Jersey to 6th, and Mary to P. Paul. And then the 3rd one is from 6th to 8th, and Mary to P. Paul. So we have officers in those areas around the clock, to try to prevent these shootings and robberies from happening. So that is all I have. If you have any questions or anything.
Thank you for that update. There is one question in the Q&A. If there's any news about the shooting of the teen in the alley on N Street?
Right. Yeah, that case is still being actively investigated by our homicide branch. I don't have any updates on that, but hopefully we can catch this guy sooner than later here, before he causes any more harm.
Do we have any other questions from commissioners? Yes, Commissioner Nigro.
Okay, so just to follow up about the shooting of the student at 5th and M. So you said that was the suspect was caught.
Yes.
Okay, and it was another teenager.
Yeah, he was 17. Yep.
Okay, so that's good. That the person survived.
Yeah.
So what then happened the night after the person was murdered by the convention center? I then had 2 shootings in the cooperative parking lot. They were shot, and then they drove down by Dunbar. Do you remember that one? You didn't mention that tonight. What has gone on with that?
That was on the 5th, I believe, of November. Right. There were two
So
individuals.
that was the night of the 5th, correct?
Yeah, right. Two individuals in a car over by the cooperative there. We believe they might have been associated with Florida Park area, a couple blocks over there. That case is still open. So we don't know if it has anything to do with the cooperative. As far as I know, since I've been back here, there hasn't been too much going back and forth, but between Florida Park and the cooperative, the 5th and O area, but that's always a possibility.
Okay, but there hasn't been an arrest at all.
No, no
Okay.
arrest had yet. Yeah.
And this was kind of reported out later. This was actually in October, that on the 1100 block of 6th Street, there was a robbery, but it wasn't reported out until, it was weird when it came out. It was finally reported out November 9th. There was another one, like there was that one, and then there was another one that was reported out weeks later. So is there a reason why sometimes it's reported out?
I don't know, like
later?
a week later. Yeah. Usually when we get a late report like that, we ask lots of questions, as to why. Now, sometimes they're delayed because, there's a student or something like that and doesn't really tell their parents. And then the parents find out and they say, you better call the police or something like that. But, I do know in October we had an older bald gentleman or suspect that was robbing people. We have a bolo out for him. I don't know if we made an arrest in that or not, but those were reported pretty much right after they happened. I don't know of the ones that.
Well, this was weird. So this was the one that I was on the second one was the 500 block of M Street on October 30th. And it happened 10 minutes after I had my pop-up office. But that wasn't reported out until November 27th.
Huh.
He's bald. So the timing was like, I was like, where did this come from?
Yeah. I can look into that or whatever. Yeah, that's
I can send you an email, but that was concerning because I try and keep on top of stuff and put it out to the constituents, but when it's like where was that? So
send me the emails for those or whatever. I'll look into those for you. Yeah.
Okay, now one last point, Michael, is that Captain Moore, we don't see those foot patrols, and I'm not going to stop talking about it. We need to see the foot patrols.
Okay.
They need to get out of the car. I emailed everyone on the call. I emailed the commander this week. There's supposed to be cadets out during the holiday season.
Right.
I would welcome a foot patrol, cadets. I need someone on the street. We need someone over by Dunbar. We need someone over on the west side of Jersey Avenue. We're having problems with the Dunbar kids. I'm having a meeting tomorrow, as you know.
Yeah.
I need to see people. I need to see sitting in the car is not helping anyone.
Right. Yeah. They have, bigger areas they need to cover. That's why we have to give them the cars. But, we tell them to get out periodically and,
but they don't get out of the car. They don't get out of the car.
Okay.
I'm done saying it. They don't get out of the car.
Okay.
So I want to see the cadets. I want to see the cadets. I want to see them out of the car. If I see the guy or the officer at 5th and O, which is great. We appreciate the car at 5th and O, but they're sitting in the car.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'll reiterate for them to get out, and, walk, basically I tell them, walk the block, look for anything that stands out, any disorderlies, any guys hanging out, see what they're doing, challenge them, and then, move to the next spot, so, yeah.
Well, when will I know that the cadets are coming here?
Well, so I don't know what specific areas the commander has them in. So tell
the commander we need them on 200 block of N Street. I need them on Morgan. I need them on Kirby. I need them on Jersey Avenue. And I want 6004 to have the cadets.
Michelle, you got to
There
share
we
them
go.
with other people.
I
We need them at
No.
8 to 0. We need them at 8 to 0 also, as
Yeah.
Ella is saying in the Q&A. And I'll just acknowledge that, you know, this individual says that a teen was sitting on the hood of her car and it caved in. So
Oh.
yes, we want to see visible police presence on foot or on bicycle within 6E, please. So I have another question from a constituent. They're experiencing a very loud, high-pitched noise that sounds like possibly one of those kind of anti-loitering devices that only is fine-tuned for people with younger ears.
Oh,
It's around the Shaw Metro station. I don't know which entrance, whether it's R or S. Do you know of any usage of a device such as that around Shaw that, like, we're just trying to figure out what I can't hear it, so I can't track it down because I'm too old. Do you know of any device like that that's being used in the neighborhood? And
no, I haven't heard of any device like that. Not at all.
okay,
No.
well then I can try to follow up with
Yeah.
with WMATA. Maybe they're using it for anti-loitering around the rail station. It also could be a dysfunctional HVAC system on an apartment building, but I think I'd
Right.
be able to hear that one and not. But I can't hear it. Apparently, it keeps people up at night, and it's a real issue. I don't know how else
Huh.
to pursue this.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Okay. That's my
great.
hearing.
Okay. So do we have any additional comments from community members? Please feel free to raise your hand. If you're on the phone, dial *9 and we can unmute you. Comments for 3D. This is the area above New York Avenue. Okay, and seeing none. Thank you very much, Captain Moore, for coming out tonight. And
Yeah.
we look forward to seeing those street patrols and the
Yes.
cadets. Looking
Yes,
forward to
sir.
it. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
All right, thanks so much. Okay, so we do now have a quorum. So let's go ahead and get the meeting started.
So let me take roll.
Okay, so item 1, I call the meeting to order.
Okay, 6001,
Present.
6002, absent for now. 6003, no one's present. 6004, I'm here. 6005,
Present.
6006. Party for the second. 6007. You have to unmute yourself, Kevin. Kevin's here. Okay.
Present.
Yep, great.
Okay.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Okay, welcome. So we have an agenda that has been circulated. Do we have approval of the agenda? Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I move that we approve the agenda for December of 2022.
That's great. And do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
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 And do we have Kevin?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. So thank you very much. On to the next item. I've already received an update from Captain, wow, I blanked on his name already.
More.
Let's go to item 4, PSA report from Metropolitan Police Department 1D. Do we have Lieutenant Fleming? Oh, and we now also have 6E02 in the house. Welcome. Justin Fleming. He was here a minute ago. Oh, sorry. Justin Roth. Sorry. I got to get my head on straight. Okay. Greetings. Is it Lieutenant Roth?
Captain Roth, how are you?
Captain Roth. Okay. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. This is for the area south of New York Avenue.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm the watch commander tonight too, so I got a lot going on. So, but I did want to jump on and just touch base with everybody. So for the 1D side, over the last I guess 30 days compared to last year, our overall crime is down 35%. The last 30 days this year, first the prior 30 days this year, we're down 8% in overall crime. But year to date, we're down violent crime 5% and property crime 1%. What we did have was kind of like Captain Moore. I kind of caught the tail end of his. He said that, you know, they had some robberies and stuff taking place on the 3D side. We had the same thing occur over here on the 1D side. I will spare you all of the details because we got hit pretty hard. Not necessarily in 6E, but on the H Street corridor, all the way. I mean, it was pretty significant. It was nothing that really creeped too far over into 6E, but I guess if you're looking at a map, it would be to the west side, closer to the 3 and 5D side. They got hit pretty significantly with robberies. We did make 4 arrests. And I think out of those arrests, we closed like 26 cases. And I would assume they'll probably hang maybe a couple more cases that we had in 6E on those folks as well. But as that investigation continues, I did just want to, you know, provide an update that we did have some closures. There was an unarmed carjacking near the Walmart. They fled over towards the Tyler house. Officers were already over there, and they ended up making 4 lockups over there as well. So we've been doing some pretty good work in 1D in the last month or two. We had, like I said, not necessarily in 6E, but just in the 1st district as a whole. We did have some carjackings. We got hit with what we call robbery patterns, where they'll come into the district and they'll strike really quickly. So they completed, I think, one night 3 or 4 robberies in a span of 9 minutes. So we were kind of on our heels a little bit there, but we did end up, I think we made 9 arrests and recovered 8 firearms. All of those arrests were for carjacking. Of those 9, I believe 7 were juveniles, and all of those cases were papered by the U.S. Attorney's Office. So we are doing some good work. We did have a robbery of an establishment at dry cleaners up in the 400 block of K Street. That occurred probably right around 1:30 today. And I just got notified by our CST team that we just made an arrest in that case too. So we are out there, we are making arrests. We are trying our best to prevent some of this stuff. Some of it is not preventable, like establishment robberies that they're inside. Some of the things that are happening like in alleys or late at night where folks are just sitting in their cars, maybe playing on their phone. Big for us is what we're really trying to focus on is robberies and motor vehicle thefts. We've kind of made some ground up on the motor vehicle thefts, especially around the Union Station area. I spoke to, we do a Union Station security meeting. We had a big problem earlier with the rental car lots. They were like kind of unsecure. So they've taken some steps to secure those, and it's really cut down on our stolen autos. The other thing is we're trying to keep cars from double parking. So we've been kind of partnering with Department of For-Hire Vehicles to kind of those Uber Eats, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers that are double parking, blocking the streets and everything. We've been kind of partnering with them to kind of keep those cars moving along. We've noticed that a lot of those are where we're getting like our carjackings and robberies. So, but like I said, we've had some successes. We have had some crimes, but of those crimes, we've closed a significant amount of them. And I think that that's it. I know I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but does anybody have any questions for me for the 1D side?
So any commissioners with comments or questions for 1D? And hearing none, we do have one question in the Q&A. Can you tell us anything about the 2-car accident crash, December 4th at 3rd and Mass? Was it maybe a westbound chase by the Capitol Police on H?
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah,
I would have to, I can try to look into it, but if it was Capitol Police involved, It was at 3rd and Mass on the 4th.
It's in the Q&A now.
Yeah, let me check.
See, 4th, 3rd, and Mass. Yep. We also have a hand up. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not familiar
Okay.
with that.
That's fine. So do we have any other questions from the community? I see Jean's hand is up. Let's see if she has anything to add. Quick. The talking is permitted, Jean.
Hey, thank you so much. Captain Roth, I just wanted you to know, can you guys hear me?
Yep, coming through fine.
Oh, good. That we did pass legislation because of the Department of Fire Vehicles coming to a very different kind of meeting. But one thing that came out is that they can't ticket Uber Eats, like all of the food delivery folks. And so we just changed that legislatively. And I wanted you guys to be aware that that was now, you are now able to do that. Both the Department of For Hire Vehicles and MPD, as well as DPW.
Yeah, and we try, I mean, don't get me wrong, we know that folks are just out there trying to make a living. I'm not trying to, if I give somebody a $50 ticket or a $200 ticket or something like that for parking abreast or whatever it comes out to be, I understand that that's pretty significant, especially when they're out there, probably just trying to make tips. But at some point, I myself have been behind some of these vehicles, and I just hit my lights and my siren and just say, hey, like, move it along. And then, so like some of them really do just refuse. So it's like you really don't have a choice but to get out and take some enforcement action. But really, I think our overall goal is just to get some compliance and just get them to move. And so they're not, and it really is for their own good. So they're just not victims of a crime. But no, that definitely helps us.
Thanks so much. Do we have any other comments from anyone in the community? And seeing none, thank you very much. Captain Roth, got your title right this time. I would say we'll see you next time, but this is the last 60 as this exists. So thanks so much for your service to our little commission.
Well, thank you all. And if you guys have anything for me, just email me. It's Justin, JUSTIN.Roth, ROTH@dc.gov.
Okay. So thank you so much.
Have a good night.
I apparently like to skip agenda items, and so we need to circle back to item 3, which is approval of the minutes. Final minutes. Minutes have been circulated, and comments have been incorporated into the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as they currently stand?
Michael, just to, I emailed everyone another copy of the minutes that I previously circulated that had some additional comments from myself. It's the copy that ends AL.
Okay.
I believe that's the final copy, the final version.
And that's the version I would like to get a motion on.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the November meeting.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
And we got Kevin. Okay, that's unanimous. And now we are at 5 commissioners. Great. All right, let's get back onto our regular schedule of events. Item 6, Jasmine Coylton from our mayor's office community representative. I saw Jasmine on here earlier, and here she is now. Welcome,
Hello.
Jasmine.
Welcome. Good evening, everybody. Okay, my name is Jasmine, the Ward 6 smoker with the Mayor's Office of Community Relations and Services. Of course, just a few updates. On Saturday, the mayor hosted Together DC Big Challenges and Big Idea Forums. And this forum was for neighbors to come and share their big ideas regarding gun violence, pathways to middle class, education, more democracy, Reimagine Downtown and DC Futures. So if you have not, or if you did not get the chance to attend that forum, you can visit together.dc.gov to share your big ideas. And also pivoting to the same website, the mayor is of course hiring, DC is hiring. So if you're looking for employment, there is a link on together.dc.gov that has a list of agencies and job openings. And on December 8th and December 9th, there will be a virtual winter hiring fair. You can also find that information on together.dc.gov. And if you have any additional questions regarding the hiring fair, you can email dchr@dc.gov. Office of Deputy Mayor and Planning and Network. Do you have any questions regarding that before I move on to the next one?
Well, let's just save the questions for the end of your presentation.
Okay, so the Deputy Mayor's Office for Planning and Economics, they will be hosting a public hearing regarding 427 New Jersey Avenue Northwest. This is of course an ANC 6C, but they would like a public opinion from Ward 6 neighbors. This will be held tomorrow, December 7th at 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at 439 New Jersey Avenue Northwest on the 3rd floor, which is the DC Fire and EMS Museum. So they're just welcoming neighbors to come and present if they have any ideas what they want the building to be. So housing, a rec center, just anything that you guys may want to see that building used as.
So wait, Jasmine, what are you talking about again?
The DMPEG surplus. So there's a building, 427 New Jersey Avenue. They're looking for public opinions on to be used as. And I the chat
Your audio
as well.
is cutting out a little bit. Rochelle,
Can
can you put it
you
in
hear
the
me?
chat?
Yeah, I'll put it
Yeah,
in the
I
chat.
hear it. 427 New Jersey Avenue. Yep.
Yes, and so, but the surplus hearing, it will be at 439 New Jersey Avenue tomorrow at 6:30.
An anonymous commenter noted it was the firehouse at New Jersey and
Yes.
E.
Yes,
Thank you for that.
you're welcome. And that is all that I have. And of course, if
Okay.
any neighbors, commissioners, if you guys want to have a walk, my number is 202-538-1241. Email jasmine.quilton@dc.gov, and I will put that in the chat as well.
Great, Jasmine. So I'll ask you this, since I don't know who else maybe can help us with this, but did you see in the Q&A there is a Popville article that someone posted about this mysterious noise coming maybe from 7th and S? Is that something that the mayor's office can help us track down? You're clearly younger than I. You probably have ears that can hear it. I can't hear this noise, but apparently it's a problem. It's being talked about. Is that something that you could help us out with? It may be a DC office buildings issue. I don't think it's a police issue. So
We could take a look into it. I'm gonna look in the chat now, but I could take a look into that.
I appreciate that. Any comments from the commissioners?
Yes, Kevin. Jasmine, yes, I like to take a walk with you. We probably did it early on when you first came on, but things got a little got busy. So what can we do that?
Okay, Kevin, I believe I have your number, but do you have a day in mind now, or do you just want me to text you, call you? We can set that up.
Yeah, let's do that offline, please.
Yeah, we'll do that offline, right? You can text me or call me.
Okay, we'll do that, Commissioner.
Thanks so much. Any other comments from commissioners? Any community members with any feedback or questions for the mayor's office? And hearing none, thank you so much, Jasmine, for coming out this evening. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, on to item 7, which is Declan Falls, Council Chair Mendelson's office. Welcome, Declan. How you doing, sir?
Hi there. Thanks so much for having me, commissioners and community members, and happy holiday season to all. For those I haven't met yet, my name is Declan. I work in Chairman Mendelson's office as a part of his constituent services team. I will put all of my contact info in the chat as soon as I'm done, so feel free to reach out at any point if you have comments or questions for the chairman, or if there's something our team can help with. I'm happy to get that to the right person. Just a couple of updates. The council is wrapping up its legislative session, and today there was a packed meeting of the committee of the whole that is actually still ongoing as I speak. And I'm sure, I know there are some other council representatives that will talk a bit about it too. Just a couple highlights from what has happened so far today. There was a vote on the Safe Streets for Students Act that was approved unanimously. That would create an Office of Safe Passage under the mayor to develop strategies for safe passage around schools. There was also a vote on the Metro for DC Act that's been in the news a lot recently. Which the chairman worked with Councilmember Allen and now would make Metrobus free in DC and create overnight service for 12 of the busiest bus lines in DC, and it does other stuff as well. There was also a vote on the Schools First in Budgeting Act that has the goal of stabilizing school budgets going forward. It would basically use current year funding as a baseline for next year's budget for schools so that they're less likely to lose money over each year. Those are just 3 of 54 different items on the agenda for the meeting today that's still going on. To learn more about those, you can view them at the DC Council website, or you can learn more or sign up to testify at future hearings at the chairman's website, which is chairmanmendelson.com. Lastly, we're currently scheduling our last meetup with Mendo of the year. For those that don't know, this is the chairman's monthly town hall that he hosts on Facebook and YouTube. We're still trying to find a date for it in the next couple of weeks. So if you're interested in joining in for that town hall, just check the chairman's social media accounts later this week or next week, and we will put the date and time on there. I think those are my only updates at the moment, but thank you again for having me. If there are questions, I'm happy to respond.
Commissioner Nigro.
Oh, Declan, I am so happy you came, because the irony that you talked about the Safe Passage program, I'm actually having a meeting tomorrow on the street with the Safe Passage lead, Dunbar High School, and the police, because frankly, the Safe Passage program is not working over here. So it is millions of dollars, and we're trying to figure out why it is not helping our situation over here by Dunbar High School. And for those who don't know, or Ed certainly knows, is that before and after school every day, there are large groups of kids, there are marijuana parties, there's loitering on public property. It goes on and on and on. So I invited the Safe Passage people over. It has not worked. So I'm curious, now you're saying there's going to be more money for this program. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure about more money. I know it does create an Office of Safe Passage under the mayor.
I think I'm going to delve more into it, because I'm going to learn more tomorrow when we're on the grounds talking about it. But from what has been happening since I first reached out for now more than a month, it has not worked. Zero, right, Ed? Zero. So the money currently that is being spent, I can't tell you, because it has done nothing for our area. So.
Well, let's also remember that some Dunbar High School students have been robbed at gunpoint of their items, which could also.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the daily groups of the drug parties and loitering every day. I'm not talking
just
about
saying
that.
that Safe Passage should also protect students, and
yes, absolutely
as well. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying about. I'm just adding. I'm yes-anding, right? This is here for the students as well. So
absolutely, but the other part is for the community.
Okay. Any other commissioners have any comments? Or questions?
Declan, can I reach out to you for more info? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
Please do, and
Okay.
I'm happy to share those comments with the chair.
All right, great.
Any comments from commissioners? And any additional comments from community members? *9 if you're on the phone, raise your hand. Ask a question. This is Council Chair Mendelson's office representative. And seeing none, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Of course, and thanks for having me.
Take care. Sure thing. Okay, on to item 8, Ward 2, Councilmember Brooke Pinto's office, represented by Brian Romanowski. Hi, Brian.
Hey, hi everybody, good to see you. Well, as Declan mentioned, today is likely one of the busiest legislative days of the year. The committee on the whole has been meeting since noon, so that is why they're still meeting is significant. And the legislative meeting is going to take place after that, so we're expecting that to go past midnight tonight. So a long day for all of our legislative staff. Declan mentioned some of the big legislation that's being worked on. I want to mention a few other things. Councilmember Pinto is planning to vote against the emergency legislation to reshape the DCHA board. She believes that reform should go through the hearing process and include community input, especially from people who have lived experiences as DCHA tenants. I'm going to post a link in the Q&A to her statement on that, so that you can read that on your own. Two of Councilmember Pinto's bills that are moving forward that we want to highlight are the BEST Act, which I know I mentioned before. This one simplifies the business licensing process by reducing licensing categories from over 100 to just 11 and reduces licensing fees across the board. That's expected to hopefully pass tonight for the final time. So we're looking forward to that vote. And then the Recovery Act had its first hearing last month. This will not be voted on tonight, but this bill is an economic recovery act package aimed at revitalizing our downtown, including incentivizing office to housing conversions. The bill is going to be marked up, but then it will need to be reintroduced next year and will hopefully be voted on shortly into the new year. So keep your eyes on the Recovery Act as well. If you have any ideas for the 2024 budget, we're going to be announcing our Ward 2 budget forums in the near future. I know many of your commissioners, many of you commissioners and neighbors attended that in the past. So please start thinking of ideas you'd like to see included in the budget for your neighborhood and get those to us early. And then talk to Declan, talk to all the other council members' offices as well, because we need help letting your at-large council members know what you want to see included in the budget in Ward 2. We also want to encourage you all to shop local this season. Shop at any of our local businesses. If you aren't shopping local and you're getting things delivered, MPD already mentioned it, but please try to have a plan for what happens when your packages arrive. The longer that they're left on your stoop, the less likely they are to be there when you get home. So try to make a plan to talk to your neighbors or find an alternative to having things delivered to outside of your home. I want to thank all the commissioners who are retiring at the end of this term. I know how much work and stress the position entails, and your neighbors are really lucky that you served. I will say your meetings are extremely organized. They're very on time, and your website is beautiful. So those are just some compliments for 6E. I also really appreciate you guys keeping your neighbors well represented through the ward and ANC redistricting process. I know it's confusing. I'm still talking to plenty of neighbors in Shaw who are saying, wait, I live in Ward 2 now. And I'm like, yes, I live in Ward 2. So keep informing neighbors who may not know. And I look forward to working with all of you again, or many of you again next year. And I'll post some things in the Q&A.
Thanks so much. Do we have any questions from commissioners for our Ward 2 council member's office?
I have a question. So Brian, is the council member going to do some, because I saw she did the meeting, or she's going to do some in-person meeting like at the Wilson building. Is she going to do stuff like in the community? Because no one's going to go to the Wilson building.
Well, first of all, we have a full roster for our office hours at the Wilson building this Friday, so people are happy to come.
Are they coming? Okay.
They are coming, yes.
Okay.
This has been our third, I think, in the Wilson building. But yes, we're definitely going to continue doing in the community. We had one at the Shaw Library right when the redistricting first happened. So we'll do that again. We'll find other locations. I think we've been learning that it's best to go where there's a natural crowd, so maybe Giant or somewhere where people are already outside. When we've done it, the library, we didn't have a large attendance, but maybe that was the time of day. We really try to switch up the time of day and location. But yeah, maybe Kennedy Rec Center. There's plenty of spaces where we could go and meet folks.
I think you should do the Kennedy Rec Center. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, so we'll definitely do that, and hopefully one of our budget forums will be in person. That's what I'm hoping to have, one of those in person instead of just on Zoom. But I know a lot of people like the virtual option as well. So. And I will be walking with all of the commissioners in the start of the new year as well. I think I forgot to mention that. So look out for an email from me to schedule a walk of your SMD.
Sounds good. Any other questions or comments from commissioners? Any questions or comments from the community? This is our Ward 2 Councilperson Brooke Pinto's office. Raise your hand. Dial *9 if you're on the phone. And seeing none, thank you so much, Brian, for coming out this evening.
Thanks. Have a good meeting.
Okay, take care. And then on to item 9, which is our Ward 6 Council member, Charles Allen's office, Jean Madison. Jean is here. And getting moved over. Hi, welcome, Jean.
Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. I definitely wanted to echo what Brian was saying about the outgoing commissioners as well as the current commissioners. This is a commission that is well represented and super diverse, and I really enjoy the fact that so many details are not left under, that they're all taken care of, but also that the bigger picture, like gentrification and all the other issues that are brought about by this commission, as well as crime and caring for other neighbors. So thank you for that. Really want to say thank you for your service. It's a thankless job, and you guys do it well. So thank you. I also wanted to announce that we are having I can't remember if it's the 16th annual Brickies event. Brickies are a way to honor Ward 6 members, neighbors, business leaders, community organizations, like all kinds of people who have sort of gone above and beyond to make things happen in their neighborhood. So that is happening tomorrow night. Everybody is welcome. There are drinks and some snacks and food donated by local Ward 6 businesses. It's 921 Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast from 6 to 8. You are very, very welcome to that. I also wanted to emphasize the Metro for DC that passed today. 3 years ago, when Councilmember Allen introduced this, everybody thought he was crazy. And then COVID hit days later. And of course, that was way off the table. So this is a really proud day for us in terms of the progression of what this will mean for DC residents. As early as July, it will start with free bus rides, but it will absolutely grow from there. And hopefully in the next 2 years, it'll mean $100 in the pocket of every DC resident to take any kind of public transportation. So we're really excited about that. I wanted to report out, Denise Blackson is not here tonight. And of course, the DCHA stuff is looming over us. No matter what, she will remain on the board of the DC Housing Authority, which I think is really, really important as far as keeping a resident's voice, a tenant's voice from the DC Housing Authority on the board. Councilmember Allen and Denise Blackson, Commissioner Blackson are working closely together on that. She put together a phenomenal safety walk about a month ago that I was a part of, and we had the violence interrupters, we had MPD, we had I don't know, a couple dozen neighbors. It was kind of amazing in Northwest 1, and we learned from there that we really need to engage the Perry School, which is a nonprofit that has been sort of finding its way back with a new director. So that is sort of up and coming. Anybody who wants to be part of that conversation, I think it's going to be a really integral part of the world that is Sursum Corda coming back online. If anybody else wants to do a safety walk, I'm happy to do that. The last thing I'll say is that, budget season is coming up. Of course, anything that is sort of pre-organized from 6E, I would super encourage in terms of budget items and what the priorities are, whether it's 6E and a little bit over, whatever makes sense sort of neighborhood wise. But also I would really encourage folks to get engaged in the oversight process. where there are mishaps and really gaps in the agencies across the board, ability to respond in the appropriate manner, that is our place. That is our space to find voice to understanding how we really shine a light on what the issues are. So if it's DGS and Kennedy Rec Center or whatever it is, that's the space to do that. And I'm happy to help you connect with the various hearings that are going to happen, both performance and budget oversight. I think that's it. So if anybody has any questions, happy to have them.
Any questions from commissioners? And any questions from the community? If you're on the phone, press *9, raise your hand, or type something into the Q&A. Okay, Jean, you're getting off easy tonight. Everyone's probably watching the council meeting.
I'll just add that we're really excited. I'm really excited to work with the Mount Vernon SID on a couple of projects with the Grand Families Building, as well as the other property there. But with that whole group of Columbus properties, we're really looking at making some changes there and working with hopefully Jasmine as the MOCR, but also the management company, as well as the property managers, really just kind of coming up with a tick list. And I'm hoping it will become a model, since we have an ownership that is, willing to work with us. And, I think right now, I'm trying to think of the property that is most, Kevin, you'll remind me. But we are really busy trying to sort of unearth all of the backlog of stuff that's going on in these 5 or 6 buildings: Severna on K, Severna, Golden Rule, 307, Grand Families. So hopefully 6E, if you have any volunteers or want to engage in that process as commissioners or as just good citizens, that is something that's on our plate right now. That's a big priority for me. And hopefully we're going to make some progress really soon.
Hey, can you guys hear me? It's Patrick.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Patrick. Yes, comment.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Jean, just on that, and sorry, I'm on my phone today. My computer's acting super weird. Jean, if I could ask that you loop in the incoming cadre of commissioners into that discussion about those buildings that you were referring to, that would be super helpful. Because if I'm not mistaken, those boundaries have changed a little bit, and there might be actually a number of ANC 6E commissioners in the new class of commissioners who represent different parts of that. So I would appreciate just paying it forward in January. Reach out to them.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Patrick, I'd love your advice about who's who and all of that. I know I can look on the map, but it's always better to make a connection.
Sure. No worries. Thank you.
Okay, any comments from community? Q&A, raise your hand, *9, hearing none. Thank you very much, John, for coming out this evening. And we will, I would say we'll see you soon, but 6E is changing. And so thanks so much for your service to this iteration of ANC 6E.
No, and happy holidays. And again, thanks for all the commissioners, especially the outgoing ones. I know that you will have another life, but we appreciate your time here.
Thanks so much. And moving on to
Michael, you just muted yourself.
Why do I keep doing that? Moving on to the next item on the agenda, item 10, presentation from PEPCO on the status of the Capital Grid project. Can we have Jamal Jordan and/or Trevorce Culpepper unmuted, please?
And I just want to say publicly, like I always do, I work for PEPCO, so I'll be recusing myself from any discussion. So
appreciate it.
Okay.
Hey,
Hi, Jamal.
Hey, how are you guys? Good.
Good.
And can you
Welcome.
also mute Jawan Cheeks, as well as Jeffrey Miller and Travoris Culpepper. I believe they're all should be all in the meeting if you see them.
So that was a lot of names. I've heard Travoris. I don't see him currently.
Okay, so did you see Jawan Cheeks?
What's the
And
first
then
letter?
Jawan JW.
With a J?
Yeah, last name Cheeks.
Nope.
And then Jeffrey Miller. Jawan is Juwan.
I found Jeff Miller. I'm promoting him.
Okay. And then there's, but you don't see Juwan, Juwan?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, in the interest of time, I'll get here. I actually want to have a brief presentation I wanted to share with you guys, just to kind of give you guys an update on what's going on. All right. Let me share. All right, good afternoon again. Oh, good evening, everyone. My name is Jamal Jordan. I'm Public Affairs Manager with PEPCO. I'm here to give you guys an update on our capital grid work, an update to ANC 6E. All right, our construction update. As you can see, this is in reference to our Mount Vernon substation, which is currently being built. And you can see the pictures here. We have completed site preparation. We have done excavation, foundation and structure and precast. And we also have upcoming activities where we have equipment delivery and interior walls, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and underground utilities. Basically, we're doing a lot of work in the area in our substation as you see the building going up. And they're continuously working, and we're actually going to look at, we're on track to have the substation completed by fall of 2023. And I'll go to our coordination and construction. This is to talk about our Mount Vernon distribution feeder work that's currently going on. Construction started, let me move this over so I can see. Move that over. Construction started in February of 2022. And then we actually are going to be completing our work in December of 2022 by either mid-December or by the end of the year with our Mount Vernon distribution work, which is currently working. All the restoration will be completed, like I said, December, weather permitting. We have door hangers that would be placed on residents' doors, notification. And we also are continuing to have coordinated activities with the other utilities, as well as working with the Walker Jones Education Campus as we have continued conversation with them since we're working right there, as well as the Bible Way Church, which we're doing work in front of their building.
And hey, Jamal, you can go back to distribution since.
Oh, Jamal, I'm sorry. You're on. Okay.
Yeah, they finally added me. But just a few other updates, just as far as the progress. We're making progress on distribution. We're about 80 to 90% finished on the construction as far as the network and radio conduit. Schedule-wise, it's for the remaining schedule. We have had some minor setbacks for weather delays and holidays coming up, or that have came up. So instead of December 22 for the completion date, we've been pushed back about a week or two to January, early January of 2023. And as far as the community, we're still working hand in hand with Bible Way Church. And as he said before, Walker Jones Elementary, just to make sure that kids have safe crossing of the street while the construction companies are working, and staying in coordination with Bible Way Church for any events that they have, so we can stop as far as, you know, funerals and clear out crews so they can have space to do what they do at church. But that should be all the updates for distribution.
And thank you, Juwan. And yes, and we've had some little delays with as with the Bible Way Church. We've been working, they've had some funerals, and we've made sure that we respected their wishes and not work while they're performing their duties. And the the funeral services, and they have some upcoming events coming up that we're coordinating with them. All right, next is just as our transmission work, and this is the work that CW and Sons was doing. And as you can see, the purple line, we've completed restoration on majority of the work with New Jersey as well as First Street going down. We do have coming up, and if you can see the yellow line around P Street and O Street, we haven't decided yet, but we're still looking at construction design in that area to redesign how we're going to do work. And we're not going to look at starting work in that area until the summer of 2023. But as we get more information, get closer, we'll make sure to let you guys know. But that's the only area where they have redesign and just kind of coordinating to see which is the best option for folks as we continue to do the work. And that won't be in place until 2023 of the summer. Next, I was going to go with our stakeholder engagement and just kind of giving you guys an update. Unless we were back to you guys in February, but just wanted to say we've had some stakeholder meetings in ANC with the Mokers and residential properties and churches and organizations and community events. Right when the school year started, we did a back to school supply with Golden Rule Apartments. We did a school supply with Plaza West Apartments, and we also did a school supply giveaway with Severna on K. I wanted to, thank Commissioner Rogers for attending those events as well. But we also had a nice event with our on November 22nd, and we did a Thanksgiving turkey drive, and we passed out turkeys to Severna on K, Golden Rules Plaza, Golden Rules Apartment, and Plaza West. We handed about over 150 turkeys in the area. It was a nice event, well attended. Commissioner Rogers came to that event as well. And then we also just wanted to keep people engaged with ongoing engagement with our stakeholders, including Walker Jones, our Mount Vernon SID, ANC 6E, and DDOT. And then this is just our stakeholder, continue with our stakeholder engagement, just some folks to be aware of in our community awareness and maintaining close working relationship with our residents and businesses, and receiving input affected neighbors through community meetings and presentations just like this. And then also providing projected information and updates, including construction location and hours. We have our sharing information via project website, listservs, our phone number 1-833-CAP-GRID 227-4743. And then we have our online www.pepco.com/CAPGRID. And then we also have our email capitalgrid@pepco.com. And then we just have a few contact information. Ed Medley, who's with Smoot, and Smoot is actually the contractors that are doing building the Mount Vernon site substation. And I have their phone number as well as their contact, 202-743-4030. And then the Pepco Mount Vernon substation at smootbuilds.com is their email address. But then we also have our community relations as if we're doing the transmission work, and that's Ms. Shamira Edmonds, and her phone number is 202-643-3148, and it's seedmonds@cwsons.com. And then we also have our email, pepco.com/capitalgrid, and that's for our dedicated transmission line. And that concludes the presentation. We open up for questions for you.
Thank you so much for that presentation. Do we have any questions from members of the community? Sorry, from commissioners. Let's start there.
I have a couple questions. I think that
sorry, real quick. And can you bring your slide down so we can see everyone again?
Oh, I'll exit. Do you want me to exit out of it?
I would like you to exit the screen sharing. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Did I hold on? Let me get out of it. Pause share. Stop sharing.
There we go.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mr. Jordan, thank you for the presentation this evening. I believe Pepco is doing some work, transmission work, I think, on the 1700 block of New Jersey Avenue Northwest. And I just want to express, and maybe the 1600 block as well, express some concern that currently during the evening time when the construction crew is not there, what the construction has done is it's removed most of the pavement markings in that section, in the 2-block section, I think between Warner Street and Florida Avenue. And that includes things like a left turn lane marking onto our street that's pretty critical for traffic flow. We've also removed the bike lane markings and pavement things in that area, and I understand that that's temporary until the construction is done. But I just wanted to, maybe I need to follow up with I guess Ms. Edmonds to, like, the markings need to be clear in that section, because right now it's just you know, curb to curb pavement with no markings essentially.
Okay, and you were saying the 1600 and the 1700 block of New Jersey?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And that's part of.
And then
that's actually part. Okay. I'll let
I think it says it's part of the transmission project.
Yeah.
And then a second question, which is related to Capital Grid, but not the Capital Grid project. This is Mount Vernon Connected Communities is something that you presented on, or that Mr. Culpepper presented on in February. And we were told that there was going to be both the Connected Communities roadmap and a feasibility study coming out. I haven't seen any progress or updates on Mount Vernon Connected Communities. Just to remind the other commissioners, this is an initiative that will defer installation of a new transmission transformer or something like that by installing or accelerating the deployment of clean energy technologies in our community. So we have a vested interest in seeing this project go forward. So wondering if there's any updates you could give about the roadmap or the feasibility study of that project.
I don't have any, thank you for bringing that up. I don't have any additional updates on that. We're currently working on that. We know that we shared, and especially we shared at the our CAG meeting, and we actually have another CAG meeting coming up on the 8th, where we're just gonna provide update, and we wanted to make sure, like, we understand, we want to share the report with you guys and provide you the information on that. I just don't have any additional information on that, but I'll make a note.
Hey, Jamal, I'm sorry, this is Travorce Culpepper.
Oh, okay. Go ahead,
Travorce. Just to answer that question, Mr. Lopez, is that we are looking to release a external facing document that really goes into the connected communities. So that should be forthcoming soon.
Do you have a date?
Hopefully by the end of this month, we should have that, but just checking in on that. We're currently compiling information and making sure that it's available for release. So we'll be sharing that with you when it's complete.
Okay, thanks. I'm sure that the successor ANC 2G and ANC 6E would appreciate an update when that report is released.
Great. So there's a question in the Q&A that I believe is also related to Alex Lopez's first question. I'll just go ahead and read it. The New Jersey Avenue distribution work has completely dismantled the protected bike lanes on New Jersey at multiple locations, including a very unsafe New York intersection. When will PEPCO completely restore these protected bike lanes to the previous condition? And they were just installed like 2 months ago. So on some level, like, how is it that you guys didn't sync up and do this before the lanes went in? But anyway, and then secondly, can you please put temporary barriers in place after hours so that a safe protected bike lane can remain when you're not working? So those may have been rhetorical questions, but I mean, it would be nice if we could actually have a protected bike lane on New Jersey Avenue, like, despite your construction work.
And thank you for that. And with the and I made note of that about the bike lanes and the temporary work, and especially as it pertains to our distribution work. We're working on, after finalizing the restoration. We'll make sure that the blocks are put back in place, as well as the bike lane, and making sure that's upright as it pertains to our distribution work. And I don't know if Jawan wanted to say, is there any additional information you wanted to share?
Hi, this is definitely,
Oh,
I can chime
Jackman
in.
Miller. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were alerted to these issues today. So we did get in touch with a contractor and we are looking to have these issues rectified by the end of the week. I will say that I believe some are easier than others. So we do intend to have the temporary, I guess like the plastic dividers, reinstalled to make sure that we can delineate the bike lane from the traffic lane this week. Any more permanent medians, so any like concrete structures, I think that will take a little bit longer to get that reinstalled, but that is on our radar. So we'll make sure to keep you all updated with what the actual reinstallation plan looks like. But we are aware of this and we are working to act quickly to make sure we rectify it.
Mr. Miller, I think that there are two sections that are under construction right now. One is the 1600 and 1500 blocks of New Jersey Avenue, so between Warner and Florida. And the other is, I think, what the commenter in the Q&A said, which is south of New York Avenue. When you referenced installations being installed by the end of the week, are you referring to both sections or one or the other section?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. So specifically, that would be for the area south of New York Avenue. The project manager for the area on the transmission side in the 1600 block is on my team. So I'll make sure to loop around with him. And then I'll get with Jamal and Travorce to get some feedback to you all as well.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Any other commissioners with feedback, questions, comments? And we do have a caller. I'm going to click allow to talk for our caller. Welcome. You're on the air. Phone numbers. Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, this is Hanok Melke. Actually, this is I'm the owner for the Roasted Boom Coffee Company. I'm actually on the agenda tonight.
Do you have any questions for Petco?
I do actually, yeah. So we
Great.
actually had some work that was done. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're coming through fine.
Yeah. Okay, so we actually had some work done about 5-6 weeks ago by Pepco, where they actually uninstalled the gas meter from our basement for our location and actually had to do the work or place the meter outside of our building. We were originally told that the meter would be placed on the side of the building, but I believe the third party or the company that was outsourced to do the work placed the meter in front of our mural. And for those who know where our location is, we're located actually on the corner of Rhode Island and 11th. We have a huge mural that represents Shaw in the neighborhood. So it's been like a huge eyesore. So I've tried to contact Pepco a number of times. Kind of got nowhere with that, almost like a shoulder shrug of sorts, told them there's nothing that we can do. So my question to the Pepco rep is there someone specifically, obviously it may not be you, that we can reach out to see if there's anything we can get resolved for that issue that we have?
So Henrik, real quick, you said it was a gas meter. Did you mean an electric meter?
No, a gas. Was it electric? I think it was electric. Yes, correct.
Okay, so that would be a Pepco issue, perhaps.
Yes. Can you please? My name is Jamal Jordan, and you should have. Can you see my email address, or I can type it in?
I'll link the two of you up via email. I have
okay,
both your
perfect.
email addresses right here.
Yeah, yeah. If you can get that, we can get to the work on this. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay. So if there are no additional questions or comments from the community, I don't see any Q&A. Well, thank you, Pepco team, for coming out this evening. We appreciate your updates and presentation, and we look forward to having some of our issues addressed. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay, and moving on to the next agenda item. Presentation from Dante's Partners on Parcel 42 Parks Design. And we do have Bua, is that how it's pronounced?
Yes.
Greetings.
Who it is. Greetings. Good evening. Could you also give
Eugene
Eugene
Tull?
Yeah, Eugene and I believe Yasmin, they'll be the ones presenting, and I'll be happy to ad lib.
And what was the other name?
Yasmin Montgomery, is she on?
Is that with a Y or a J?
Why?
With a Y.
Yeah.
Okay. I got him.
Perfect. And I'm here as well. Good to see you, Alex. Good to see you, Commissioner Negro. So Eugene, you want to take it away?
Yep, can everyone hear me?
Yep, you're fine.
All right, so introduce myself. My name is Eugene Tull. I'm development manager with Dante's Partners. And I want to share my screen with you all so you can see the presentation. Just bear with me here. You guys all see this?
Yep, you're coming through fine.
Okay, great. So once again, my name is Eugene Tull, and I'm development manager for Dante's Partners, and I specifically am development manager for Parcel 42. So give you a brief background on us if you don't really know about us. We were founded in 2006, solely with a mission to create and build affordable housing in the district. Since then, we've expanded beyond the district. We do work in the DMV, New York, and so we've come a long way. So Dante's Partners is a part of the family of companies, the Dumas Collective. Within that family, we also have Fabria Management, our property management company. Dante's Community Partners, our investment company, as well as Number 7 Consultants, our construction management company. So it's been a pretty busy year for us. I want to say we've closed 5-6 deals this year. More importantly, we've hit plenty of milestones this year, and we continue to provide affordable housing in the district, as well as our other areas of operation throughout the Mid-Atlantic. So before I get to the park parcel, I do want to give a brief overview of Parcel 42 for those who don't know about the project. It is a 110-unit new construction affordable housing development in Shaw, right on the corner of 7th Street in Rhode Island. 180.
Eugene, do you have the website up real quickly?
The website?
Yeah, the construction link.
Yep, I can bring that up.
Yeah, just real quickly, just so folks online, can see the progress that you've made.
He's going to have to take himself off of presentation mode in order to share the website. Would you mind if we just finish the presentation?
Okay, sure. We can finish the
demo,
presentation.
you can demo it after.
Absolutely. Yep.
Let's just
Perfect.
stay in the channel here.
Yep, perfect.
Of course. So where was I? So 108 units of affordable housing. I think about 2 of the units will be market rate. Plethora of amenities, right? Fitness room, club room, terrace, lounge area, ground floor retail, as well as 16 at-grade parking spaces. So we're all very excited about this development, and we think it's bringing much needed affordable housing to Shaw. So here, what we're here to talk about is the park. We refer to it as Lot 803. And we really wanted to, our approach to this design was, we really wanted to come up with a unique engaging experience for the community at Shaw, in Shaw. So everything you see shaded is green space, which will be, providing, planting trees, bushes, etc. And then residents will be able to walk through the park and enjoy the experience, right? So we'll be also installing a sculpture and a feature wall. And I'll zoom in a bit so you can kind of see exactly where that is. So that's where the sculpture will be. And right behind it, you'll see a feature wall. So essentially, we are working with a local DC artist to design the sculpture. And this is our preliminary sketch for that sculpture that will be placed prominently in the park. steel wings on top of a concrete podium. And our intent is for the community to want to engage with this. You know, folks take selfies, pictures, etc. But, you know, we're really looking forward to providing an asset to the community, right, for years to come. So. And as I mentioned previously, there will be a feature wall prominently placed behind the sculpture. And this is kind of our inspiration for what that would look like. And we will be displaying, you know, quotes and inspirational sayings. Also something that we fully anticipate community residents to also engage with and enjoy. So this is our presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great. So before you stop sharing your screen, did you want to pull up the website and show construction progress?
Of course.
Right. So you have to exit your presentation mode and pull it up. I don't know if you've got just the window shared or your whole desktop. And also, if another one of your team members has it up and ready to go, you could switch over to that.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so I think I might have just.
Where's this camera mounted?
So this camera is mounted right across from the street, right across from 7th Street. So you're looking at parcel 42 from across 7th Street. So I'm trying to position the camera so you guys can see everything, but we've been making very, very good progress with the development. We are very close to topping out. We should be topped out within the next 2 weeks, and we'll continue to keep moving with the development with anticipation that we'll be complete by September of next year. Yeah, so we can also, Bua, do you mind if we share this link as well with folks?
No, I don't mind at all. Folks can, no better way to check on the progress of the construction by checking out the link on your very own. And we're very excited, you know, thanks to, you know, all the various commissioners who assisted in getting this project where it is today. Like Eugene said, this time next year, we should be welcoming new residents into the building. So we're all very excited. And we just want to make sure that the park is completed at the same time that the building is completed as well. So that's why we're here to present, to give you an update on construction, as well as to present to you all what we're thinking as far as, you know, community engagement for that park.
Thanks so much. So would you mind bringing your screen share down? So yeah, perfect. And now, do we have any commissioners with questions?
Yeah, I have a question, and it's actually along the same lines as the question that was submitted by Commissioner-elect Padro. Regarding the inspiration wall, how will I guess the first question is, will the quotes be focused on people with ties to DC, people from DC, people who have spent time living in DC, contributed to, especially maybe the Shaw community, is the first question. And then secondly, will there be an avenue for public participation or even participation from the residents of the new building with the selection of the quotes for that park?
Yeah, so the theme for the sculpture is Still I Rise, right? So that's the theme, right? So the inspiration behind the sculpture is really just how resilient we are as human beings. And I know, you know, we all need constant reminders, but bottom line is we all just came out of a pandemic, or we are still coming out of a pandemic, and we're moving forward as human beings in the best possible way that we can to still be able to move forward and advance, you know, all that we do, you know, whether you work at PepCo or us as providing affordable housing, you know, we're being resilient in moving the culture forward. And so that's the theme. So to the extent that folks have quotes that fall within that theme, you know, by all means, feel free to email me directly or email Eugene directly, and we'll do our very best to incorporate them into the future wall.
Yeah, I think that it would be it would be nice if the quotes had a connection to DC. And may I recommend that working with Shaw's resident historian, Commissioner-elect Alex Padro, who likely has some good ideas for quotes from eminent current and former Shaw residents.
Yeah, by all means, I'll be happy to engage with Commissioner Padre. And again, if folks have ideas, just feel free to email me directly.
Any additional comments from commissioners? And we have one hand raised. Stacy Meyer, I'm permitting you to talk. Welcome.
Oh, hi, this is Stacy Meyer. I'm the development manager for DEMPED, and I want to appreciate you guys allowing Bua and Dante's to present tonight. Looking forward to getting this project done. Mr. Lopez, one of the things that one of the reasons why I'm here is I just want to make sure that we are getting their community engagement on this part. I've been tasked with getting approval from the ANC. I'm not sure if that's what you do, but if we could get a letter of approval, that would be certainly helpful. And if there's additional community engagement that you see, maybe you want to ask for going forward, maybe on your question about the words or whatever, that we should know that so that we can make sure that happens. We just want to make sure that the community is getting what they want and from this project. And I'm sure Bill
thank you, Ms. Myers. If this is the first time that I've seen the renderings, although I have talked with the Dante's team before, would it be okay to maybe work with some of the incoming commissioners? This is actually, parcel 42 is going to be in another commissioner's single member district come January, but maybe I could work with the incoming commissioners, and one of which is Alex Padro, who is a local historian, to maybe come up with some recommendations that we can move in our January meeting.
I'm sorry, so is it Alex Padro is going to be the new commissioner for this project?
No, this new area, this new area is redistricted to I think it's 2GO1. 2GO1. Okay, so Anthony Brown is commissioner-elect for this area. But if it would be possible to defer or postpone a vote until January.
The only thing I would add is time is not really on our side. So as you all know, construction plans don't stop, and fabrication takes a very long time. So our hope is to have stuff done, frankly, before the end of the year, and not wait till January, because things like this take a while. So I'm happy to engage with whomever we need to engage with between now and then.
So do you have the final design of the wall yet?
It's a curved wall. So if with
the words on it, I mean, with what quotes you're thinking of.
We don't have the final design with the words on it, but it's a wall that various inscriptions will be inserted on it. From talking to the designers, there's a limitation as to what the exact number of quotes is, just because of the length and height of the wall is concerned. So we can share with everyone what the number is. I mean, clearly there are quotes that we like that we want to see inserted, and if folks have quotes, again, getting all those quotes from everybody now would be extremely helpful. If everything makes it, fine. If only a portion of it makes it, fine. But getting that information out from folks would be extremely helpful.
Okay, do we have any other comments from the community members? There's a couple comments in the Q&A that I've passed through. And seeing none, I'll leave you and the team with the trusted hands of commissioners and our Shaw Main Street's partners to help facilitate the quotes that go on the wall.
Absolutely.
Yeah, do we need a vote from the ANC this evening? Because if I'm happy to do that. I don't mean to be overly prescriptive, but I do think that it needs to, given that this was a DEMPED property, that the focus should really be on quotes that have some ties to the Shaw neighborhood or to DC at large.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put
So-
forward a resolution that basically speaks to that, zero
Yeah.
opposition. I think the only caveat that I would say is it should not be the only quote, right? I think, you know, I mean, yes, we want to incorporate quotes from folks that have ties to DC and ties to Shore, but I don't want that to be, you know, the only quote that is out there. I mean, we have tons of quotes in the ether that I'm sure we can all pull from, but I think that you saying that, you know, we want to ensure that, you know, a portion or, you know, that, you know, portion of quotes from folks that have ties to DC and Shore incorporated in the wall, we are more than happy to incorporate that within incorporate that into the larger future wall.
Okay, so would you prefer that I make the motion requesting DC quotes today, or that we can come back to this in January?
No, you can do it
and make
today.
a motion?
You can
Okay,
do it.
so I'm going to go ahead and
Yeah.
I'm going to make a motion that ANC 6E support the design for parcel 83 with the recommendation.
Lot 803.
With lot 803 with the recommendation that the quote will focus on quotes of current and former residents of the Shaw neighborhood and or the district at large.
And is there a second? Been moved and no second. So unfortunately, Alex, it sounds like the commission is not excited about taking up your motion this evening. I think you can leave it up to you and Shaw Main Streets and Tony Brown to work with Bua and team to come up with the list of quotes for the wall.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank
and
you.
On to our next item, item 12. Onto the liquor license portion of the evening. Let me find Alex Padro, our esteemed commissioner-elect and ABRA committee chair. And we would like to demote our friends from Dante's Partners.
Ready to go?
Almost. I would like to. There we go. It's over here. Well, why don't you go ahead and get started?
Sure. So we have three cases this evening, one new application and two renewals. The new application is for District Champagne. This is for a retailer's class A liquor store at 1301 9th Street Northwest. And I'm not sure that we have a representative this evening because they did have some childcare conflicts, but nonetheless, this is, again, a retail class A liquor store with a tasting permit. Hours of operation are Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. We did take this up at the ABC Licensing Committee meeting last Thursday, and the committee has recommended to the full commission support for this new application with a settlement agreement that lays out the basic terms that we offer to all new licensees related to maintaining the exterior of the space, minimizing signage that would prevent visibility through the windows, keeping the area around the establishment's entrance clear of trash and ice and snow in the winter and the like. So that has been submitted to the proposed licensee, and we have not had any concerns expressed there. And I did share a copy of that with Chairman Eichler. So this is in a single member district that is currently vacant. This is Frank Wiggins, former single member district. So there is no current commissioner to opine. But again, the recommendation from the committee was for support of the application with a settlement in place.
Okay, so we have no one representing the licensee, and we have no one who is representing the SMD. So we have to trust that we have the we have the word of the committee, which has.
So I was at
forward.
Alex's meeting.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm not saying trust. I mean, I'm saying like we have to rely on the committee's recommendation. Commissioner Nigro, do you have any feedback?
No, we talked thoroughly about what was going to be in the store. And Alex Petter, it's going to take about a year for them to open, right?
Yeah, they're looking at
Yeah.
September at the earliest, to open.
So that's what's going to be a while, but that sounds like it's going to be a great product and a great, hopefully, so.
Yeah, this is not supposed to be a typical corner liquor store. So they're looking at high-end brands, obviously. Champagne being both a tribute to a principal product that they're offering, as well as to the quality of services. They intend to offer a large number of vintages that are not available elsewhere in the District of Columbia.
And no hard spirits, right? Wasn't that, if I recall, Alex? That wasn't that's not their bandwidth.
It's part of the license because there's only a handful of licenses that are available. So they didn't have a choice to just do a wine store license. This was what was available in terms of the license plans. But these are seasoned industry professionals, although this is the first time that they're engaged in retail. But they did impress us as being very capable and very eager to be good community residents. They're parents of a small child, and they really put themselves in the place of neighborhood residents in terms of what they would feel comfortable having in a neighborhood where young people are trying to be raised.
Thank you for that. Do we have any other comments from commissioners about this new liquor license?
I'm sorry, was there a settlement with this as well?
Yes, there is a settlement agreement that has been shared with the chairman.
Yeah, and actually, just real quick, Commissioner Padro, were there any past, is there anything that's particularly unique about this, or do you think that the settlement agreement is pretty boilerplate?
Yeah, so basically it's ABT liquors, settlement agreement without the items that are negated by the tasting license, and obviously ABT had some specific structural and signage issues. So, but all the other provisions are the standard provisions that we've offered to other retail licenses over the past 10 years.
And we have one question from Ian in the Q&A. Are there any requirements regarding the enforcement of loitering outside the store? Mr. Padro, would you care to comment on that?
Yes, that is a provision of the settlement agreement. There are several paragraphs that relate to cooperation with MPD, calling of MPD, asking anyone that does loiter to move along or face the repercussions of having MPD come to inquire why they're importuning passersby.
Okay.
And again, they will not be selling singles, so they're not looking for an exception to the single sales ban, and the price points of the products that are being offered would be unlikely to be conducive to loitering.
It's a well-stated answer.
So I don't think that the settlement was shared. I don't recall seeing it. And I'm likely to support this anyway, but would it be possible to just flash it on the screen? And I'm not familiar with the terms.
It arrived in my inbox at about 5:23 this evening. So I'm happy to share my screen and kind of scroll through it for the purposes of, let's see, no, where's the button? I pushed actually share my screen. Okay, and then here we go. Hit this button and Okay, so is this showing? Can you see?
I can see it.
Okay,
yeah.
great. So there's a series of whereases. Therefore, compliance with the law, hours of operation, alcohol abuse prevention, limitations on sale of non-alcohol related retail items, which mostly focuses on drug paraphernalia. Here's the section on loitering and other criminal activity. Cleanliness and conditions of premise and immediate environs. I mean, I wonder if we should just make sure that this is updated to reflect the future 2G ANC that it will be located in addition to the one. I mean, it won't even be operating in 6E by the time it opens, right? So
2G is the successor to ANC 6E for any agreements with ABRA.
Yeah, but 2G doesn't exist right now, so it doesn't have any officers, so we wouldn't be in a position to.
Why don't we just ask Sarah? We can just ask Sarah.
Well, I mean, I mean, I guess I'm wondering, would it make sense for this to wait until for approval until 2G comes into place in January? Is there?
What?
No, that's right, because their approval is needed by. There's a December 29th deadline or something.
Let's just ask Sarah, our liaison. That's her role.
Sure, but we can go ahead and vote on the settlement agreement. And support the application.
Yeah, the protest hearing date is December 19th. That's why we're taking.
That's why we're doing it now. Right. Thank you for that reminder. Okay. Is there anything particular on Commissioner Lopez that you'd like to see in here? As I scroll back up.
No, I
Hours
just
of operation.
Can you circulate it with the commissioners after we vote?
Yep, I can send it along. I can even do it before we vote if we really want to. Okay, and then just to, I mean, I can just do that now, 6E, and send. Okay, so it has been distributed. Okay, so any additional comments from community members? Seeing none, I will, since this is an unfilled seat, I will go ahead and make the motion that ANC 6E support the new issuance of a retailer's Class A liquor store license for District Champaign located at 1301 9th Street Northwest, and communicate that support to ABRA, given I get a second. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. And is there any discussion?
There's just one term in here. I'm just looking at it that about it's the second bullet under loitering. Coordinate with MPD to monitor and remove loiterers. I don't think that's legal, given that we don't have a anti-loitering law in DC. So I'm gonna move to amend.
Well, we have a motion on the floor. It's been moved and seconded, so we have to address that. You want to do a friendly amendment during this discussion?
Well, so yeah, I'm going to move to amend the settlement to remove that second bullet. I think everything else looks fine. It's about calling MPD to illegal activity.
We can also check with ABRA's legal department too, you know, and remove it. This is all can be asked Sarah. That's her job.
Well, we can't ask ABRA to do something after we voted on it, unless we're going to meet again to vote on an amendment.
Well, that's your friendly amendment.
That's your friendly amendment is to make updates to the settlement agreement, reflecting the comments from ABRA about, you know, MPD enforcement.
So yeah, I'm making an amend. I'm making a motion to amend the settlement agreement to remove that second bullet under loitering and other criminal activity.
But in addition to your for guidance from ABRA. They have a legal department, Alex.
No, I understand they have a legal department, but can you help? I'm not sure.
They will guide us. That she will let us know if that statement is okay, and if it's not, then it's out.
Yeah.
That's your friendly
Also,
amendment.
The ABC board also has the final decision as to
Yes.
what is accepted in settlement agreements, and they commonly strike out provisions that are not enforced.
Yes.
Well, I guess I don't I mean, not only.
But
do I
that's
not
your friendly
legal,
amendment.
I also don't support it. So.
Well, also, we don't need unanimous support of this.
Yeah, so I'm just making I'm moving to amend the settlement agreement to strike the second bullet under loitering and other criminal activity.
But I would like not to strike it if it's fine.
I would prefer to
if
keep it
if
it's,
of course. But
yeah.
if
well, there's
I can't
already
get
a
a
motion
second.
on the. There's a motion. There was already a motion and a second, so you can't make a motion while there's an active motion on the floor. So either you're making a friendly.
You can make a motion to amend.
Either you're making a friendly amendment to the motion, or we have to vote on the motion that's on the floor, or make a friendly amendment.
No, you could.
You can't wrap a motion in a motion. It's either
Alex,
the motion
no,
and
you
the second.
you could
could
amend once the motion is on the floor. There's discussion,
right.
and
so you can make a friendly
can make an amendment. There's no such thing as a friendly amendment in Robert's Rules of Order, which is what we follow in our bylaws.
Alex, this is a standard one that we've given many times. So this is let Aber, if it's not right, let Aber decide.
So I would like to call the question that we vote on the moved and seconded motion. Is there a clear friendly amendment that you would like to make to the motion as it currently stands, such as, with changes as recommended, by Aber Legal Department?
Well, if it's a friendly amendment to strike the second bullet under loitering and other criminal activity.
That's not what Michael just said.
All right, well, that's fine. I will withdraw that amendment, but I will also, I do want to register my protest that this is not in accordance with the Robert's rules. But anyway.
Okay, well, you can bring that up with the next version at the next meeting.
I hope we do follow the rules next time.
Well, again, my understanding of the rules, motion, second, some discussion, and then either approve or reject, and then you can make another motion. So anyway, there's a motion on the floor, and you have repealed your friendly amendment, correct? So now I would like to call a question and vote. All in favor, in support of the motion, please vote by saying aye.
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 That is 4, and anyone opposed? No opposed. And do we have any abstentions?
Aye.
1 abstention. Okay. Thank you very much for that. The motion passes. Mr. Padro, on to the next item.
Yes, the next case is Roasted Boone, and I believe that we have Mr. Melky, the owner.
We do, and let me allow Mr. Melky to talk.
So the Roasted Boone is primarily a coffee shop located at 1018 Rhode Island Avenue Northwest, but they do have an ABC license because they offer wine in addition to coffee, especially in the evenings. So this is a Class C tavern license. Hours of operation are 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. 7 days a week. Hours of sales and service are 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. 7 days a week. There is no investigative history for this establishment, and we can ask Mr. Melky if he has any comments that he'd like to share about his current and future operations.
Hey, Alex, thank you for the introduction. Just a little back brief on the business. We opened up in July of 2020. Like Alex mentioned, we're a full-service coffee and wine bar, offering a wide variety of Pinot, Cabernet, and Merlot types of wine. But again, our primary focus is coffee. And again, we are looking to tap into an East African wine eventually sometime down the line. If you are familiar, it's called Mace. So we are on that product for future distribution. Other than that, I have no other comments.
Thank you. And the committee, did hear a presentation from the general manager of the establishment at our meeting last Thursday and did recommend to the full commission support for the renewal of this license.
Wonderful. Do we have any questions from commissioners? I'll just briefly state that I received unsolicited support from a next door neighbor of the Roasted Boon. Well, around the corner, I guess there's a couple of vacant buildings between this neighbor and your establishment. So it was unsolicited. So you're doing a great job of keeping the neighbors happy. Do we have any feedback from the community? Raise your hand, *9. Q&A, seeing none. Okay, since this is in my SMD, I will move that ANC 6E support the renewal of the Class C liquor tavern license. It is the tavern license?
Yes, Class C tavern.
Yeah, Class C tavern, oh, of course, right. Tavern license for the Roasted Boon, located at 1018 Rhode Island Avenue Northwest, and communicate that support to Abra. If I can get a second.
Second.
Okay, second by Kevin Rogers, taking notes for our minutes person. Any discussion about the motion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it is unanimous with 5 votes. No, or sorry, just to be clear, are there any no's, any abstentions? Okay, great, got all 5. Okay, and on to item 14.
Which is the renewal for Dulce Gelati Cafe. So we may have Gianluigi Delaccio, the owner, on the line, but
we do. Okay.
Great. So this is a Class D tavern license. Location is 1420 8th Street Northwest at City Market. Hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days. Hours of sales and service are 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days. There is no investigative history for this licensee. The committee was not able to dialogue with the owner or management, but nonetheless, the recommendation to the full commission is to support the renewal of this license. And obviously, we have the owner on the line, so we can offer him the opportunity to comment on his current and future operations.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Alex, for the introduction. My name is Gianluigi Delaccio, chef president of Dolce Gelati Cafe, and we have basically a gelato company that we always support our fresh product through the community. And we had the intention to add some different type of items, so we can include our beer and wine consuming to the store. We had the slow start, and then we had COVID hit, so we haven't really implemented to our menu. But now we just started to implement some pizzas and new sandwiches. So the addition of potential consumption of wine or beer would be it would make more sense. So we have an intention to continue to serve these products.
Right. I will observe there was one question that did come up, and that is you do not have an outdoor service license, so there is no summer garden outdoor cafe license. So obviously, service and consumption would be inside the premises, not outside.
Correct.
Great.
Great to hear. Do we have any comments from commissioners? And this is in my SMD as well, and I haven't heard negative or positive feedback. And in this world, positive feedback is rare, and no feedback means you're doing a great job. So, any comments from members of the community? Raise your hand and press *9. And seeing none, thank you for coming out this evening. I will go ahead and move that ANC 6E support the renewal of the Class D tavern license for Dolce Gelati Cafe located at 1420 8th Street Northwest, and communicate that support to Abra. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Okay, seconded by Alex Lopez. And any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Rochelle, do we have a vote from you? Commissioner Nigro?
Yes, I.
Okay, and there's no one left to vote no or to abstain. So that is a vote of 5-0-0. Thank you very much, Mr. Delaccio, for joining us this evening, and we look forward to continuing to have you in the community.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Okay, thank you so much. And I believe, Mr. Padra, that is the end of your report out. Thank you very much for your service over the last 2 years, or even more so, as ANC committee chair for the licensing, ABRA licensing. So thank you so much, and best of luck to you in your term as commissioner for 2GO2.
Thank you. And I'll just share with those commissioners that are continuing in 6E that I'm at your disposal for any transition issues that you may deem desirable.
Thank you so much. So on to the next item, which is 15. Commissioner Lopez, this is from your Transportation Advisory Committee.
Yeah, thank you. This is the only and maybe the last resolution from the Transportation Advisory Committee for this ANC period. This is regarding resolution requesting the return of benches to the 400 block of K Street Northwest. I circulated a draft resolution language with just hide these meeting controls with the commissioners previously. Essentially, the 400 block of K Street Northwest has a wealth of summer gardens and sidewalk cafes, but at some point between I think it's August 2021 and September 2022, public benches were removed from the 400 block, specifically public benches that were in these little alcoves in the oversized planter areas on the 400 block. So there were 2 benches removed from here. So this is Google Street View, September 2021, August 2022, the benches were removed. Again, Alex, this is another alcove on the block.
Is there a way you can widen so it fills up more of the screen? Because the images are kind of small and it's kind of hard to see. If there's like a fit page width or.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's the 2 benches. I mean, essentially, you could take my word for it. They were here and then they were gone. They were here and then they were removed. We have queried with DDOT, and they, for the life of them, can't figure out why or when they were removed. They have no record of them being removed. On this block, as I mentioned, there are over 400 seats for restaurant patrons, but now there are no benches, at least on the south side of the block. The TAC observes that public benches are important social infrastructure, allowing residents to pause, rest, observe, socialize, and participate in public life without the need to spend money. And that public benches are important for seniors, persons with disabilities, and anybody that needs to rest. So ANC 60, or the Transportation Advisory Committee, voted to request that DDOT replace the 4 benches that were removed from the 400 block of K Street, and that DDOT consult with ANC 60 whenever benches are contemplated for removal or relocation in the future. And this is located in single member district 6005.
So thanks for that. Let me just quickly inquire, Commissioner Parley, would you like to provide any comments or feedback about this particular item?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thank you, Alex, for taking the lead on drafting this one. The genesis of this is a resident pointed out that these benches were removed, and argued essentially what this resolution is arguing, that the presence of those public benches are important for all a range of different people in the neighborhood, for a range of different uses, and it's important to have them. I'm frustrated with DDOT for not providing an NOI to describe the fact that they were removing these pieces of public infrastructure. This feels like something that they should let us know. And then you know, Alex, like we have followed up with them in sort of our regular liaison channels that you might expect an ANC to follow up on, and they're just not really providing any kind of useful response. So two counts of frustration from me from DDOT. But anyway, all this to say, I think this is an important issue to be considering. I'm supportive of this resolution, and I hope you all will support it as well.
And so I do have one question, which is, did someone reach out to the Mount Vernon SID to find out whether they had any role in
yes.
the removal of them? Okay.
Yes.
And so they
Daylight
did not
West
have
do not have an explanation.
Oh, okay, right. Just want to make sure that there, you know, all the hands are talking to each other and that we're not trying to put something back that somebody else had asked to have removed for some reason that we weren't aware of. Okay. Any other commissioners have any questions or comments? And do any members of the community have any comments about this situation with the benches? And seeing none, Commissioner Lopez.
Okay, I'm going to move that ANC 6E request that DDOT replace the 4 benches that were removed from the 400 block of K Street Northwest, and that ANC 6E request that DDOT consult with ANC 6E whenever benches are contemplated for removal or relocation, and communicate this resolution to DDOT.
Second that.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
I'm abstaining.
Okay, so we have 4 ayes. We have 0 no's and 1 abstention. Motion passes. Thank you for that presentation. Okay, we are on to the treasurer's part of the evening. Commissioner Nigro, I know that you have been not feeling well lately, and that we may have some scurrying to do when it comes to getting of our. No,
I think
we
we're
all
okay.
ready?
Well, for what the main thing we need to talk about tonight is the budget for basically 6E, which is not going to exist like how we are. So we're projecting in the future, and the main thing, and Dawn is the best friend. She's our liaison concerning this, and she's been guiding me through this. So her guidance is that as long as our expenses are covered, which the big thing with Alex would be the lawyer fees. Alex Lopez.
Yeah, I don't have them yet. I haven't
But
received.
is a guesstimation
Yeah.
$8,500?
It will be substantially. No, it will be substantially less because we're only using the attorney to
So let me share my
do
screen.
a post-hearing submission.
Okay, so let me share my screen.
Right, but didn't we actually already vote on a budget for 23?
No, did we?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, normally you
Since-
approve the budget before the fiscal
Now.
year starts, so you know how much you're going to spend, because fiscal year 23 started on October 1st, correct?
But I don't think we did one. I don't have a record of it.
Yeah, I don't have one either, but I do
Well, then
remember.
we
I do
do
remember. I do remember we had a budget amendment. We amended the budget to move money from
Well-
one bucket to another in order to cover the legal fees.
Well, but this
At a
is
previous
for the
meeting.
future. So this is so Dawn, our liaison, sent this is the future 6E, right? And so total funds for them supposedly will be $92,506.
Okay.
And including the part that we're in now. So it's a little bit, I think it's going to be a lot for them to do, but I'll be monitoring it because I'll still be around. But what I put for purchase of service, I put $30,000.
So these are supposed to be allocated by quarter, correct? So
No, she wants us to predict we're predicting the yearly budget.
Right.
What are we allocating?
But columns, I believe columns D, E, F, and G are supposed to be like quarterly allotments that then total to something that's in column I. Isn't that correct?
I don't know.
Or
all I did was add this up to be 92,506.
Right, but if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see the column headers. I mean, we're live fire updating a budget, but that is what it is. Could you scroll up a little bit so you can see the column headers?
Hold on a second.
Right. So the approved 23 budget is actually in column C.
No,
And
it's
I
down here.
believe-
It's 92 is this.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the
So
end adds up to.
we do have an approved budget for 23.
Yes.
I
Okay,
think that we
So,
approved
but
the
it's
calendar
all,
year
but it's
budget,
all,
though.
but it's all very like, because we are not gonna, this is not really ours, this is really theirs.
Sure. I'm just trying to see the column C is where the approved budget goes, right? And that is the budgeted income there in the top part, right? Of total receipts, total budget of 92K income. But then if we scroll down, then I believe this in that same column C is where we're supposed to type in what we want to spend for FY23.
I do not, I cannot answer that. I do not know.
Well, I'm just intuiting. I'm intuiting what comes from the column headers, right? Because D, E, F, and G are supposed to be where you put your actual spend, and then column I is supposed to be how much money you have left in the fiscal year.
So I would like to have because we have to approve something tonight, even though this is all very vague, that I would like to say something with guidance from our budget liaison, to have this kind of be the framework. And then if something's not quite right, we can alter it. But the main part is these numbers over here.
Right, but I believe those need to go in column C. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Right, because that column I is how much you have left for the year, which is technically supposed to be column C minus what you've spent so far.
Okay, well.
But we can also just.
She will help me.
Yeah. So I guess technically speaking, then we don't have to approve what we're seeing on the screen, but we can talk about the numbers. We can talk about the individual. We can talk about the individual numbers that are currently listed in column I. And we'll, regardless of what column they end up in the final spreadsheet, right?
Well, all she says is that it is, because I will quote her. That, what does she say here? Okay. Currently it should adopt a budget to take care of the expenses from the third quarter and the fourth quarter. And that is assuming the legal fees will be now-ish, Alex?
Yes, I do question though how reimbursement will occur if this is our last meeting of the year.
Well, we're gonna ask Dawn.
Yeah.
she and I are like this. So that's her role.
Don't leave me hanging.
No, I mean, and they're gonna experience, there's what, 6 commissions that are new or something's, so they will guide us through this.
So, so let me share my screen real quick, just to show what we have currently, because this is the current FY22 budget, and the spending dollars are not right because this was our Q2.
No. That's FY22.
I know.
We're at FY23 now.
I know. I'm just trying to show how this form works and where the values go, right?
Got it.
So,
okay.
And it's FY, stands for fiscal year. So this is fiscal year. This fiscal year starts on October 1st. And so these were our budgeted numbers for FY22. And so anything that we was spending in after October of calendar year 22 goes into the fiscal 23 budget. So you can see here, the budgeted amounts go in this cell or column C, and then the money when we spend it goes into Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. The year to date is the sum of those, and then this is how much you have left. So what you're proposing are some numbers on your screen, which we can put into here. But I just wanted to verify that, like, we are doing fiscal year budgets and not calendar year budgets.
That's correct. So that what she sent me was the spreadsheet to use for FY23.
Yes, and we can do that. And I actually have the blank version of that on my screen right now. If we wanted to type numbers in
Well,
live
but
fire, or
that's-
if we wanted to transfer the numbers that are currently on
No,
yours
because
to the appropriate column.
She has the numbers in there for the money that's allotted.
Right, but the incoming is one thing, and then the budget is how much we plan on spending.
So let's not waste time. Can we make a motion and then?
Well, we need to make a motion of how much money we plan on spending.
But we don't know exactly because of
That's
the legal fees.
that's what the budget, we can budget.
So
a
that's why
certain amount.
that's why I put.
Yep.
What I did.
We budget more than we need, and then.
That's why I budgeted $30,000.
Great. And I would just feel more comfortable if we're going to make a motion based off what we're seeing on the screen, that those values need to be in column C and not in column I.
But they have to be in column I too, right?
No, column I is how much money we have left this year, which is not really the budget. The budget is column C. I mean, yes, we do have that much money left.
So I
but
should just
actually-
move this over.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah. Do you? I mean, do you want to copy and paste the values?
I can just look. Here, whoops.
Okay.
See, this
So
is
it
not
just-
my swim lane.
It's my swim lane.
Oh,
It's
I
like
know it is.
Numbers in boxes. Numbers in boxes. I'm really excited. So this is the 6E budget. So we have Kevin Rogers, who's going to be part of the new 6E. Any thoughts about the budget for your future commission? And where are these legal fees going? They're going under purchase of services?
Correct.
Okay, and then what about any, where do the secretarial fees go for?
That's purchase of
for-
service too.
Those are purchase of service as well?
Yep.
And communication, is that like the mailbox?
Yeah, the mailbox, and then yeah, because I put all printing at the $1,000. I made a lot of, because they want to do a lot of copies.
Well, and probably the Zoom expenses also go under communication, don't they?
That's why we're still doing Zoom. Yeah, that's right.
So, or maybe the post office is actually under direct office costs. And I don't know. Like, I would say we've got $92,000. Put more money in there than we're going to need.
So, but also they're going to shift this around too.
Sure, but just to cover our bases over the next.
What do you want to shift?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, this is if this just needs to last just a month, then let's go ahead and just make sure that we have those expenses covered. Oh,
We have plenty of money, $30,000.
Somehow, sorry about that, Alex Lopez. Are you back, Alex? Sorry about that, Alex.
Okay, back in.
So sorry about that. Okay, so do we have any comments from commissioners about what the values are currently in column C, which would be our FY23 budget for ANC 6E? And again, they're going to change it.
I think this makes sense to me. And then I think it's right. I think it's right. We're changing Karen's role to purchases services, and that will start in the Q1, right? Commissioner Niagara.
Yeah, so that was per
Q1.
Dawn. She said that goes in purchase of service.
Perfect. I think that's right. I think it made me a little bit. It was a little bit weird that was showing up in communication previously.
Okay. So thank you for doing this, Madam Treasurer. So can I get a motion on these budgeted numbers for ANC 6E for fiscal year 23?
I'll do it. What do we say for future? Current, it doesn't matter. It's
Just
us,
budget,
right?
just say it's
Okay.
the FY23 budget.
Okay, I move that ANC 60 approve the FY23 budget.
As indicated here in
As
column
indicated.
C. Thanks, and there's a second.
Second.
Okay, and a second from Alex Lopez. All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Did we get Kevin?
Aye.
Okay, we got 5 votes. Great. There we go. Congratulations. There's now a budget.
Okay, so what's going to happen during the next couple of weeks then is because 6E will still exist, because I'll be, whoever wants, Kevin, talking to you, whoever is going to step up and deal with the finances for 6E, I have to have a conversation with them about the bank and the checkbook, because they only have to get a tax ID number, but beyond that, it's basically, they're just going to be given the Wells Fargo information. Got it, Kevin? Someone over there.
Okay. And because the quarter isn't over, we don't have to have a Q1 quarterly report yet. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right.
Okay,
And then we only
so-
have to,
So the new 6E is going to have to finalize a quarterly report on the books of the old 6E. And they'll ask us any questions that they have if they arise. Okay.
so I'm gonna look for my receipt. So wait, we have Karen's expense and your expense, and give me 30 seconds. Because I remember I quoted myself last month for the FedEx.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on, give me 30 seconds. Hold on.
Sure.
I think I found it. Oh. Never mind.
Okay. So the
Right.
expenses that we are covering this evening are the 250 for our minutes preparation services, correct?
That's correct.
And they are also, so that's 250. And then there's the Zoom bill for this evening's session, which is 99.63.
I found it.
Oh, and now we have a third expense.
Okay, so this week, this is for last month. I did the wrong receipt.
Let's just do all of our current
Okay.
month's expenses first, and then you're going to actually have to do another motion to correct
Okay.
last month. So do you have current month's expenditures that you would like to be reimbursed for?
No, not this month.
Okay, so our current month's expenditures are 99.63 for the Zoom bill,
Yep.
and 250 for our minutes preparer. And then I'll go ahead and make the motion that ANC 6E approve the previously stated expenditures for our December expenses. If I can get a second.
My second.
Okay, and is there any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Did I hear Kevin?
Aye.
Okay, that's 5, nothing. And then we're gonna have to amend now our motion from last time about your reimbursement. Commissioner Nigro.
Yep, so the reimbursement for November previously was an error. The correct amount is $49.23.
Okay.
And that is for flyers from November 1st.
And what was the previous value?
Oh, you can bring up the old minutes. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. See here.
You find them?
Well, I'm looking at the minutes here. Oh, wait, maybe we did do it right last time.
Did we?
It's right in the minutes, but maybe I didn't have maybe I didn't have the receipt. Remember, I brought it down to you. This is all me. Never mind. It's me.
Okay, so we can turn back the last 5 minutes.
Never mind.
Reclaim,
Well, that was weird.
reclaim our time. Okay, so we are
Sorry.
not going to amend the previous approved expenses from the November 1 meeting.
Yes.
Okay, so do we have any other reports or outputs from the treasurer that need to be reviewed at this evening's meeting? Okay, so if that is the case, we can move on to the next agenda item, which is.
Let me just remind. So Alex Lopez, when you come back, we have to do checks for 2 months.
I'm back on Friday.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Yeah, I think it's actually, is it just 2 or is it 3 months?
Is it maybe 3 for you?
Yeah, I don't think I ever
we'll
received.
go back. We'll make sure.
Yeah, let's make. The checks are in the book with one signature waiting for another one. So.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the next item. We're almost there, folks. This is the end of an era here. Any announcements from the public, members of the public or community commissioners?
Actually, before we go there, I think that we may need to vote to schedule a January meeting for ANC 6E, given that the approved meeting schedules that we approved in January of this year only go through December.
Is that true? Or does it go to January?
The previous ANC voted to approve a January meeting that allowed us to meet in January. So just by convention, I don't know if this is legally required, but by convention, we may want to establish a January meeting for ANC 6E.
Commissioner Nigro, do you have any memory of this transitional thing in the past?
No, I mean, I remember last year's, but it's kind of irrelevant because what if we don't? Then what? I mean, who cares? Does it matter?
I guess it wouldn't hurt.
And we can just
But, I mean,
randomly
but
say
who's-
the first Tuesday, and they can do whatever they want with it.
Who's
Well, I was
gonna
going to say the
schedule-
second Tuesday, so let's give them 7 days to notice the meeting since they're sworn in. The first Tuesday is the 3rd, January 3rd, and they're sworn in on the 2nd.
Who's gonna schedule the 2G meeting?
Well,
We can work.
OANC.
I'm not worried about any of this. It'll all work out.
Okay.
Why don't we just say the
So-
second Tuesday and then they can discuss among themselves and change it?
Sure. Okay, I'm gonna I make a motion that the ANC 6E January meeting will take place on Tuesday, January 10th at 6:30 p.m.
Do we want to specify a location?
It'll be virtual still.
Virtual, but I don't know what platform they're going to use.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. And seconded, all in favor, vote by saying aye.
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 Okay, we've got a unanimous vote. We now have a January 10th meeting for ANC 6E, January 2023. And that sounds good. On to the announcements portion. Do any commissioners have any announcements?
Oh, what is Teresa still on here? No. So it's going to be very impactful I was hoping she'd stay on. So the Events DC, the Convention Center, they're going to be hosting the African summit starting on the 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's going to be 45 world leaders. It's going to impact the entire area. A large part of 7th Street is going to be closed. There'll be checkpoints and there'll be fences around the convention center and 7th Street and 9th Street. So just be watching the news and watch my social media because I'll have all sorts of information. So the map's going to be released this week with the street closures and all that.
Okay.
Oh, great. I got a
Big deal.
question. When is the new commissioners get sworn in?
So, I don't know what date that is.
January 2nd at
Oh,
2 p.m. at the convention center. Kevin, check your personal email. You should have gotten a notice.
they ain't putting nothing in there.
I'll forward it to you.
All right.
Okay. Any additional or announcements from commissioners?
Have a wonderful holiday, everyone. Merry Christmas and whatever holiday.
Do we have any announcements? Do we have any announcements from community members?
I just want to say thank you to Chair Eichler for being a great administrator this year. We would love to have you back next year as chair.
Good job, Mike.
Emeritus, if you're interested.
Chair Emeritus. Thank you, but I will be enjoying my Tuesdays in another way. I'm not sure quite yet how, but looking forward to not hunching over my kitchen island with these lights glaring down on me every one Tuesday a month. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. They say it's a thankless job, but people do say thank you.
That's
right. It's just not enough. It doesn't make up for everything. It's not enough. So do we have any announcements from community members? Feel free to raise your hand. Oh, yep. I'll allow Chris Hart to talk. Welcome, Chris Hart. How you doing?
Good. Thanks, Michael. And I do want to say thank you to the outgoing ANC 60. I did just want to ask, the budget conversation made me a little nervous. I'm going to be honest. Is there a plan for records management transition to the incoming ANC 60?
So there's a lot of discussion. We've received emails from our new director of the Office of OANC. So they have a plan, supposedly, in terms of old emails and archives, and I don't think they have a final plan, right? We haven't seen it, right, Alex Lopez? It's been discussed. No. Yeah. So it's been many commissioners have brought it up.
Okay. All right. No,
So
I know there's lots of moving parts. So, but as an incoming commissioner, I just want to make sure that things don't get lost in the transition.
Listen, just with you and Kevin, the bank, and with you too, the bank, the money, and the website. The end, right? I need someone to help. Whoever down there is gonna work with me to the bank and the website.
Okay.
And the tax ID.
The tax ID.
Okay. I mean, my assumption is I can't do anything until I'm actually sworn in.
Well, we'll see ya. We'll see you January 2nd. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll touch base once that happens, but I just wanted to.
I don't want this checkbook anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris, you may be aware that our treasurer had to move out of the district just a couple months ago, and so Rochelle has done a Herculean task of taking on the massive checkbook and a variety of other administrative tasks as part of this that are not necessarily in her swim lane. So thank you, Rochelle, for volunteering to fill the gap of treasurer over the last few months, and just very helpful. And we appreciate all of the hard work that you've done to make sure that.
But you know, Chris, thank you. But someone's going to have to pay for the website prior, because it's going to have to check, because I have to soon, because it's on my credit card right now, and we need to remove that.
When is the due? When is the bill due for that?
I need to call. I need to call SASP because it's coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because maybe. Well, go ahead.
Oh, and just to that, all the property of ANC 6C needs to be relinquished to the new ANC by the 31st of January, but I'm sure that we'll do that.
Well, yeah, but I want my credit card off of there.
Yeah, no, you have your own reason to want to do that faster. I don't know if there's any other property other than the website and the bank account, though.
That's correct. Yep.
No, and thank you. And I want to be clear, not criticizing you at all, Rochelle. I just want to make sure we have everything we need to have a smooth
Yes.
transition. And I appreciate
I will not forget.
everything you all have done. Yeah.
You and Kevin are point people at the moment.
Thank you. Well, I won't take up any more time. Appreciate it.
We deposited the petty cash.
No, not yet.
Okay.
We will though.
Okay, thank you for that. Any additional community comments? Seeing and hearing none. Next meeting is actually, the discussion of the next meeting is actually item 19. So maybe Alex, you jumped the gun on that, but now we have one and I'll announce it. It is January 10th, 2023 for 6E. 2G, who knows when that'll happen? We'll let OANC help us out with that. So on to item 20, adjournment. I hereby adjourn this meeting, but I think I have to make a motion to do that. I'm going to move to adjourn the meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
Everybody seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yay, aye.
Kevin, we got. All right,
All right,
thanks
bye,
everyone.
everyone. Bye,
It's been real.
6E.
It's been fun. Goodbye, 6E. Take care.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Ciao.